There we go. All right. How's that sound now? Is that a little better? Yes. So, yes, absolutely. All right. Yes, here we are, January 1st, 2018. Great new year, great new you. And this is your opportunity to redefine yourself and redirect your thoughts. And we want to help you in that process by starting you off with some good news that you can use, uplift your day. And so we encourage you to listen in and be inspired. And for those who are on their cell phones every Monday morning, we want you to join us on Facebook Live, The Female Solution, Facebook Live. That's www.facebook.com/The Female Solution. And we'll share with you some of the good news reports that you can take with you and make you feel good. And one of the things that we want to share with you, of course, is the fact that, well, you woke up this morning, and that's a start. And if you are breathing, then you have something to be grateful for. What was your night like last night? Did you spend it with friends and family? Did you spend it in solitude? Did you spend it in reflection? Did you spend it with that loved one? And however you spent it, you had a chance to take a look back. And you had a chance to really think about what your life was like. And you had a chance to decide how you want your life to go. Every day is actually a new year. Every day is a chance for you to decide how you want your life to go. So, if you're with us, joining us on Facebook Live, we say great morning to you, and may this new day be one that inspires you. We look forward to sharing with you some of the things that we share on our Get Inspired Facebook page, which is a sharing of good news reports that come from around the world, people doing good deeds. And so if you are one of those people who is constantly hearing the negative side of life, and if you have been influenced by the news reports that make you feel that you've got to watch your back all the time, then we want to change your perspective of that thought. We want to change your perspective about those who are sharing this planet with you by giving you an idea of some of the good things that they've been doing and some of the things that you can feel good about. And so one of the things that we want to share with you is from the report from Humankind about a Korean restaurant that cooks meals for those in need. And even after their last paying customer leaves, this couple prepares to serve hundreds more for free. It's a beautiful story of this Korean restaurant that cooks up meals every day. And they come in with their trays and trays of meat, pasta, and they, of course, as any restaurant, have an overabundance. But then they also, as they prepare this food, they keep in mind that at the end of the day, they're going to have a lot left over. And rather than just throw it out like many restaurants do, they take it to those who are hungry and they feed them. They feed them desserts. They feed them meals. And they say this is one of the ways of sharing God's love. That's what Pastor Jean, one of the volunteers, says. And so they do this every day. They pack them up in these to-go carts, and they take them out to where people are homeless, and they share. So, you know, that was one of the stories that I found very inspiring. And as a result, I've decided to activate the service that my own daughter started a few years ago before she left for Korea, and that was an agency called Taste, Not Waste. And what we would do is go to restaurants and banquets and places where they had just served food and had a lot left over. And, you know, they signed an agreement that they're releasing the food and they're not responsible for whatever we do afterwards. It's out of their care. And then we packed it up in those to-go carts with a little tag that said, Taste, Not Waste. And we delivered it to the homeless. So this was something that was done in the wintertime. So now I'm going to re-energize that move. And in this cold, frigid weather, I'll be looking to continue that service in my car, and may even get a sign for the car with their company name, Taste, Not Waste. This past summer, under that same company name, we sold our garden-grown vegetables. And so we want to create a means to feed those who are customers that can pay, and we sold them at the farmer's market this past summer, and then to feed those who don't have money. And that's where the free meal service comes in, to make sure that companies and organizations that are giving events and banquets and serving customers don't have to just throw out good food at the end of the day. So that's one of my resolves for 2018, to expand that service and to feed people. And this spring, we're going to expand our garden and continue growing greens and tomatoes and cucumbers and all those vegetables that we sold at the farmer's market over at the Healthy Food Hub this past summer. And I'm looking forward to expanding that as well with others who want to use unused plots of land to feed people. So look out for Taste, Not Waste, as we expand the service of feeding the hungry and providing good food to those people who want to enjoy what Mother Earth has to offer. So we look forward to you being a part of that effort. Now, you know, when a man marries a woman, he often realizes he's also marrying her family. But this special groom made vows to his bride and his bride's sister. This is a story also shared by Humankind, the site Humankind. And it said many brides would want to share their special not many brides want to share their special day or their husband with their sister. But everything about this wedding seems just right. Now, this is a woman whose sister has Down syndrome. And she knew that she was going to be her caretaker for the rest of her life. And so when she got married, her husband also realized that he would be sharing in that caretaking, and he wanted to be her sister's best friend. So they took vows, her wedding, and then he took vows with her sister to be her best friend. And this is a beautiful story of sisterhood. Ashley wasn't the only woman who would be proposed to on that day, because when he proposed to her, he also proposed to her sister Hannah. He got on one knee and asked her to be his best friend forever. Hannah has Down syndrome and diabetes.
I never thought of that if I made a joke and I had said something like, and you never thought you'd have to marry two girls at once, right?
Will and Hannah, that's his name,
Hannah,
shared best friend vows.
do you take Will to be your best friend? Do you promise to go fishing and tell him silly jokes and always care for Will?
Yeah.
Will, do you take Hannah to be your best friend? Yes. Do you promise to go fishing, tell her silly jokes, and always care for Hannah? Yes. Then I now pronounce you best of friends forever. You may hug your best friend.
And during the wedding, they also had their best friend dance right along with the dance for the bride and groom.
It doesn't even cross my mind to think that I want it by myself.
And this is a story of love. Definitely something that inspires you. If you have a family member that is perhaps someone that you've got to care for, and maybe you hesitate to get married because you wonder if your spouse is going to be as loving and considerate and kind, one of the things you should think about is if this person really is ready to be in your family. Because if part of your family involves caring for someone, whether they're elderly or disabled, you want someone who has enough love in their heart to also love your family member. So, Will, young man who loved his bride, also had enough love in his heart to love her sister and include her in the marriage as well. So that was inspirational. You know, little acts of kindness. And so when we choose to use our love, we can transform lives. We can make a difference in the lives of everyone we touch. And it's always a simple decision, simply because everyone has something they can give. Everyone has the power to love. So now this story also shared by humankind is the story of a hospital. And they show where the wave of a hand can bring healing to the heart of a child. Now, this children's hospital is facing a ballpark. And what the people do at a certain point in the game, they turn around and wave to the children at the hospital who are sitting in the window. So this story is about a child suffering, striving to overcome cancer and various illnesses, who propped up at the window and wasn't able to see crowds of people waving. And these people who attend this game all know that that's the tradition, to wave at the children at the children's hospital and send them love. And it's called the Iowa Wave at this Iowa stadium, where the child can observe thousands of people in the stadium showing love and making them feel as if their life matters. Well, every life does matter. And that story was certainly an inspiration. So think of ways that you can make someone feel as if their life matters today. Someone you can share a smile with, perhaps an elderly person, perhaps someone who's out in the cold. Think of something that you can do that can simply change the mood of the person that you're with. Even if you tell a small joke, share a laugh, look at a child and smile. Because everybody needs reassurance that they matter, that their life matters. So these are stories that we share on our Facebook page, Get Inspired, because we want you to get inspired. We want you to get inspired to act, to change something in your life, to touch someone's life. And we want you to think about how you're affecting the lives of those you touch every day, the people that you work with, the people that you ride the bus with, the people that you are in traffic with, the people that you walk down the street with, the people that you go grocery shopping with, the people that you stand in line at the bank with, people who, for a few moments, are affected by your energy. So are you able to share the energy of love? Are you able to share the energy of joy? Are you able to make people feel that their life matters simply by the way you speak to them? Just share a greeting. Have a happy new year. I'll be praying for you. You're a beautiful person. So today, with everybody that you have an encounter with, think of a compliment you could give them. Think of something that you could say that would brighten their day. Oh, I love that hairstyle. Oh, girl, those are some sharp shoes. Oh, that's some beautiful nail polish. Oh, I like that hat. Something small that can bring a smile. Find something positive you can say about everybody you encounter. And see how you begin to change the energy around you. See how you begin to affect the lives in your midst. It's a simple thing to do. And if you make it a habit, you'll find that slowly you begin to change the reality. We are a population of people who are affected by every person on the planet. Energetically, we are all connected, even to those people you don't see. To those people who are spreading joy, you're feeling that energy. Those people who are suffering, you're feeling that energy. Because energy waves are like radio waves. They travel through the atmosphere, and they affect everything around them. So there are currently, as of last night, 7,530 billion 103 million 700 and wait a minute, let me see, 7,530 103,103,737 people. Again, let me give you that figure. It's the amount of people that are currently on the planet. 7,530,103,737. So, of that 737, you're number 7. There was 36, and now you make 37. 737. Your number matters. Think about it. That's the number of people that are presently on this earth right now. Everything has a number. So think about the number that you are and the significance that you can make just by being you. That is the Earth's population. You know, there's a constant number count, births, deaths. It always changes. It's not stagnant, but that means your life matters. You, spark of light, that energy spark, you matter. And so, because you matter, decide to engage in activities that are going to affect others in a way that literally changes the world. Everywhere you go. Got time to share another story with you. And if you wondering if people are getting better or worse, they actually are getting better. They actually are becoming kinder. They actually are more positive. They are more loving. They are more considerate. And if you are wondering if people can be trusted, they actually are more trustworthy. They actually are more honest. So if you worry about whether or not you are going to be in danger, realize that you only attract to you the vibration that you're projecting. So rather than walk around in a state of fear and apprehension, walk around in a state of love. Choose to walk in love. Choose to believe the best in people. Choose to believe that you're going to have a good experience. And then create it. Every day you have the opportunity to demonstrate the best of humanity. And you can always have an impact on someone's life who may be going through a down period. You can always change the way people see the world by the way you treat them. So if you choose to show love, then you will be shown love. If you choose to show forgiveness, you will experience forgiveness. And so we want you to enjoy your life and to bring joy to the lives of others and to choose to be among those who are making a positive difference. Now, if this day is one that causes you to look back with any kind of regret, maybe someone in your family made their transition, maybe someone fell ill, choose to look at things in the positive. Choose to see a way that you can learn a lesson from the life that touched yours. Because anyone who made a transition in this season most certainly is living in joy, because on the other side, that's all there is. There's only love. There's only joy. So be joyful for them, for having finished their course. Earth is merely a school in which we learn how to love. That is our task. So the last word we bring to you before our break, to choose to master the course that you came here to master, and that is how to love unconditionally all those whose life you touch. Forgive those who may be in a state of unawareness and are making mistakes that may hurt themselves and others, and choose to bring joy. That's your purpose for being. So now we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll hear some words of encouragement for this new year from ZeldaSpeaks. And we want you to think of ways that you can transform this world in this new year simply by sharing love. I'm Naima Latif, and we'll see you again next week. And we are back. You're listening to Higher Learning with ZeldaSpeaks. And as always, we appreciate you for joining us and being a part of this global transformation. Every day we get an opportunity to share with you some great news from great people. And we've got some wonderful guests coming up this week. So we invite you to tune in every day, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time, and that is 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Pacific Coast Time. And if you are one of those who has been a part of our family for the last several years, you know that we have been continuously expanding and giving an opportunity for some of those of higher consciousness in our midst to develop their own brand and host their shows. We're going to take another quick break and come back with our dear sister, Zelda Speaks. So listen in, call in, comment 515-605-9325, and press 1 when you're ready to speak, and we'll come right to you and get your thoughts.
Good morning, happy new year, and happy new you. Thank you so much for joining me this morning on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution. Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks. Thank you so much for joining me in the new year, according to the Roman calendar, as we have been reminded by Dr. Naima Latif, we here at Earth School have more work to do because we are still here. And for the ancestors who have moved on, who are not with us today, I dedicate this show to them as in honor of my brother, My oldest brother, Patrick Bradley, who made his transition at 1 o'clock yesterday, and for selfish reasons, I'm glad it happened yesterday and not today. I may have not been able to speak this morning. And it seems as though, Naima, you were just talking, I know you were talking to the general audience, but everything you said was so apropos for the situation that my family is experiencing right now. So please keep your prayers. Keep the Bradley family and the Robinson family in your prayers, because my big brother Patrick Bradley has made his transition. In case you didn't know, he is someone that you needed to know, and there's a story about him on higherlearningnetwork.org. Back in the summer I did. Patrick retired from Commonwealth Edison. I think he worked there 30, 40 years. I'm not sure. And it was 30 or 40 years. But he retired. He was the lead architect engineer on several projects in the city of Chicago. Most notably, the main three that I can remember is that I tell everyone is the redesign of the S-curve. And remember Lakeshore Drive going south, well, actually going south and coming north, right at Grand Avenue. That's where the S had to be straightened out because it was really, really, really a big, deep S. And lots of people were having accidents, including myself. My car spinned around on one icy night. I didn't have an accident, but it was definitely an accident that was avoided because of that. And I am most grateful that I made it out alive. And thanks to my big brother, Patrick Bradley. Also, the second one is the Sears Tower. I had a chance to dance. This was back in the 70s. I had a dance troupe. I was a member of a dance troupe. It's called Sky, S-K-Y. And we performed there at the Sears Tower on the top of the building before it was even completed. I didn't know then at the time that he drew up the schematics for Sears Tower, which is now Willis Tower, but of course everybody still calls it Sears Tower. So, and last but not least, the most recent one, I'm sure that was over 10, 15 years ago when he retired, he redrew the design for the now State Street. Remember, we had all the traffic on State Street, and then they redesigned it, and then there was no traffic on State Street. Well, it wasn't his fault that there was no traffic. It's the way that the city implemented the design to keep the traffic down on State Street. Well, as you can see, that didn't work because the merchants weren't happy. But anyway, long story short, he redesigned the architectural design for State Street. So State Street, Sears Tower, and Lakeshore Drive. This is someone that you should know. And you know we do not know these things unless we turn on the television, and there's a saying in media, if it doesn't bleed, it doesn't lead. So if there's no guts and glory, you won't hear about it. But you are hearing about it here today on Higher Learning with ZeldaSpeaks, the Female Solution. If you just tuned in, I want to thank you for joining me today as we continue our mission here on Earth School. And as always, I like to start today's dedication to my big brother Patrick Bradley with inspirational conversations. I always like to start out something with inspiration. It's taken from my book, Inspirational Conversations with Shalom with Yisrael, a.k.a. Zelda Robinson. January 1st, Happy New You. This millennium provides us with possibilities as never before. As we enter into this new decade, new millennium, and the new you, let's live this year, each day, as if it were our last. Why? Because one day it will be. We don't want the day to pass without having spent some time doing something that brings us so much joy that we forget about the time, our worries, our concerns, our loved ones, our debts, our dues, and all the insanity of the world. Let today be the beginning of a new attitude. So do something today that you've never done before. Walk to work, not in Chicago, right? Take a different route. Answer the phone with a new greeting. Wear a color you wouldn't be caught dead in. Write a letter. Phone an old friend. Make a new friend. Kiss yourself. Most importantly, don't make a promise to yourself that you know you will not keep. Keep it real. Be true to you if no one else will. Out with the old, in with the new. What will you do differently today that will make a difference in the quality of your life today and tomorrow? Now look in the mirror. Grab a mirror right quick and say to yourself, Happy New Me. Now kiss yourself. Did you do that? Well, I certainly hope so. And if you didn't, you still have the rest of the day to do that. I decided not to focus on resolutions because we often make resolutions we will not keep, but to just be the very best you can be every single day of every single minute. And I also like to read to you today from January 2nd because I just thought it was so apropos. And it says, does it sometimes seem that with all that you do, you are not ascending to the level where you know you should be? Maybe even heading in the wrong direction. Reverse gears. Stop and ask yourself the question, am I trying too hard to do things my way? Try doing as the gospel singing group GMWA, Women of Worship, says in their phenomenal hit, Order My Steps. You see, the direction in which you may be headed may not be the direction that has been predestined for you. You will never know that until you become quiet and ask the omnipresent spirit within you to guide and direct your way. So the thought for the day, order my steps. Repeat that with me, won't you? Say that out loud. Order my steps. Once more, order my steps. Follow the path. Enjoy the journey. And if you just tuned in and you'd like to participate in today's conversation, the phone number to call is 515-605-9325. That's 515-605-9325. You're listening to Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, Higher Learning with ZeldaSpeaks. And my guest today will be Lionel Abdul Haqq from Community Cultivations. And we'll be with him shortly. But for right now, I think it's time for our morning meditation. For those who have not had a chance to get quiet and go within, we're going to just take a few deep breaths as we all do, as we always do, and give thanks for the gift of breath because your lesson here in Earth School has not been completed. You have more work to do. We all have more work to do. So let us begin by sitting somewhere comfortable, preferably chair, where your back is supported, feet flat on the floor. Or if you'd like to lie down, that's fine. But be in a position where there's nothing in your hand, nothing on your lap, and nothing to take your attention away from the breath as you begin to breathe from the nostrils. If you have sinuses or upper respiratory problems, I understand, then you can breathe through the mouth. But what we will do is breathe in through the mouth, breathe in through the nostrils and exhale through the mouth. And we'll count to ourselves slowly from 1 to 5, inhaling. And as we release, 1 to 5, exhaling, and do the same. So let's begin. Are you ready? Okay. Inhale deeply, closing your eyes. You should not be looking at anything around you. You should only see the inside of your eyelids. And exhale deeply. Inhale deeply, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now as you continue to exhale and inhale, counting to yourself, feeling your chest inflate as you inhale and your stomach deflate as you exhale. Make that breath a deep inhale and a deep exhale as much as you possibly can. Because as you inhale all the goodness that awaits you. And as you release, exhale, you are releasing the toxins, the negativity, the fear, the doubt. Inhale deeply, knowing that all really is well in your world despite appearances. And exhale. As you inhale, see each of the organs, the heart, the liver, the lungs, the spleen, the spine. Know that they are being re-energized with the energy and the love that you give them every time you breathe, because you are given another chance to do something great with this breath, with this life that you've been given, the first day of 2018. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Inhale deeply, giving thanks for the breath, and exhale. We oftentimes are not aware of our breathing, and we breathe very shallow. And in shallow breathing, we limit the possibilities of what can happen in our lives. So continue to inhale deeply and exhale. And remember, as you go about your day, you want to keep breathing, to be conscious, to be mindfulness, to have a mind that is centered in the now moment, because when you deter from this moment, all kinds of activities are going on within the body that we are not aware of. And a friend shared with me some information. He says anger is stored in the liver. For those who may have liver issues, I strongly suggest reading for any health issues you may have. Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. Get that book. If you don't have it, it's free at the library. Check it out. And there's also an audio tape available as well. Inhale deeply and exhale. Grief is stored in the lungs. Respiratory issues. Look up the word grief in Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, and see if the problem and the cause, and as well as the affirmations, see if they'll work for you. You won't know until you try it, right? Fear is stored in the kidneys. And we wonder why there are so many kidney diseases, diseases, kidney stones, kidney failure. You might want to look that one up in Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life as well. Stress affects digestion. How many people do we know that take, what's the pink pink drink that people take. I can't think of the name of it, but I'm sure you know. Pepto-Bismol. What do they call them? Tums. We have issues with digestion. You might want to look that one up, too. Last but not least, fluoride allows aluminum to pass through the blood-brain barrier. And we wonder why there are so many diseases of the brain, dementia and Alzheimer's. I had a very good associate by the name of Cornelia McDonald, who made her transition in September of last year, who was a registered nurse for over 40 years, and she died she made her transition with cancer. I forget which part of the body was, but she said something to me that I'd never heard a medical professional say, and she said that we don't die of diseases. We die from a lack of nutrition. Things that make you go, Inhale deeply and think on that for a moment. But don't think too hard about it. Just be sure and get a copy of Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. And whatever is going on in your life, for every physical ailment that we have, there is yes, I said it right, for every physical ailment, there is a mental cause. So you might want to investigate that. But in the meantime, in between time, I have our guest on the line who's been doing a lot of investigating and has been investigating for years before I even knew him. In case you missed the show last week, our very special guest today is the one and only Lionel Abdul Haqq, who is the publisher of Community Cultivations and someone who is living in the present that you need to know, because this is an awesome brother that I met when I was working in secular radio at WJPC or WEJM. I'm not sure which one it is. But this is a brother. Brother Haqq is someone you need to know. Good morning, Lionel. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Peace be with you, Shalom. Once again, I want to thank you for an opportunity to share.
And thank you for sharing the information and the knowledge that you do. I was reading over the information packet that you left with me, and I saw something it didn't startle me. I was just surprised to see it. The transcript from the very first show that we did in 96, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And we were talking about your programming, which is what this show is all about, how to reprogram our consciousness. And you were talking about, I don't remember which movie it was, but that's how I got to know you, in case people are wondering. You were doing movie critiques. And it shows how we are being programmed by the media, how the masses are being programmed. And I'd like for you to share with our audience today, since it's a new day and a new year, what's on your mind and what is it that we need to be concerned with to continue to cultivate our communities in which we live?
Well, I think one of the biggest concerns that I have right now is the lack of humanity, the loss of humanity. It's been the programming of mass media, which is primarily in the hands of major corporations who fund and sponsor the various programs that are on television and that are created, in movies, that they have an agenda, and that agenda has been and continues to be the dehumanization of modern world, to kill the idea that humanity is something that we should exercise and support. The idea of kindness is a weakness is a phrase that is very common, and it has become the norm not to care about anything. What you see in the way that a lot of the young people dress, male and female, with the pants showing the upper part of the underwear, if not the upper part of the cheek, the naked cheek of the person's behind. This is become so common, but it really reflects a general lack of concern or care for oneself or anybody who is impacted by the image that is being reflected by the person. And this is brings me to the reality that those who have been programming us with the kindness is a weakness and wave your hand in the air like you just don't care program have been very effective in killing the idea of caring and having a sense of concern.
That's a very good point. I never looked at it like that we really don't care about ourselves as well as our community by the way that we exhibit, have ourselves on exhibit. That's
one of my greatest teachers, one who I acknowledge in every one of the flyers that I put out over the years, Imam Waratadeen Muhammad, the son of the late Elijah Muhammad, may peace be upon them both. He really gave me a great deal of inspiration about movies. I wasn't doing movie reviews before I started listening to his commentary. And, he was the one that came up or presented me with the idea about wave your hand in the air like you just don't care. As a standard part of most concerts and music videos, it was a standard part of most every one of the programming that was put out by rap musicians and rap artists. And this is basic psychology 101, to get people to recite something, regardless of how detrimental and insane it may be, and to do some physical action while they recite that, and to do so in tune to music in mass audiences, is a powerful psychological orientation or program that has really manifested itself in the modern world today, where people just don't care, and they tell you they don't care. I mean, they say it with enthusiasm. I don't care about nothing, and they mean it, and they act it out in very, very violent and destructive ways.
And it shows up in crime statistics.
Everywhere.
It shows up
even
in
relationships.
Everywhere.
Even in relationships,
yes.
Yeah.
Relationships.
Yeah.
We have a call, Mama Z, on 5474. If you just tuned in to Higher Learning with ZeldaSpeaks on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, you're more than welcome to join the conversation. Simply call in and press 1, and that's your way of raising your hand. Call us at 515-605-9325 as we go to the line with Mama AZ on 5474. Good morning, Mama AZ.
Grand risings, my sister, and the listening audience, and your guest, Grand
Peace be with
Rising.
You.
This is
I love
such
that,
a
Grand Rising. I love that.
Grand Rising, yes. I got that was from someone on my Facebook family page, they always say grand risings, and I said that is awesome. So I'm incorporating that into my vocabulary. It's so interesting that, brother, you mentioned how things are interjected into our psyche just through the media and through things. You know, I was just thinking the other day, what is going on here? It is definitely a change, and you're right. There are many, yes, things may appear to be getting better. However, on the flip side of that, there is definitely something that is being incorporated subliminally into our minds, and you must be mindful at all times. It's like watching your breath, and like you said earlier, sister, watch how you breathe. Pay attention to how you breathe. We must pay attention because there are many which that's their job on planet Earth, is to incorporate fear. You just don't care. And like you said, brother, they mean it. They mean it, and you must pay attention to your dreams. And the last thing that I want to say, go up and find the app. It's called Insight Timer. It's on your phone. Look, Insight, like you have insight. Yes.
Okay, timer.
Insight Timer. They have a lot of different meditations, and it's just awesome. Awesome. It's Insight Timer. But thank you for my brother for this powerful information. Keep talking, keep sharing, because this is very potent. And that's my word for this day. And have a good rest of this year, the beginning to develop and to redesign or recreate a better you. Pay attention to your dreams.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mama AZ. We greatly appreciate that. If you just tuned in, it's 8:04, and you are listening with Brother Lionel Abdul Haqq of Community Cultivations, my very special guest on Higher Learning with ZeldaSpeaks on the Female Solution. And we're going to take a commercial break and come back and take Brother Kufi at 515-605-9325. If you'd like to join the conversation, tune in, and we will be right back. Grand Rising to you. And thank you for joining us again this morning. Grand Rising to you, as Mama AZ would say. I love that. I usually say good God morning, but just for today, I'm going to borrow that from her. Grand Rising. I love that. Our special guest today is the one and only Brother Lionel Abdul Haqq from Community Cultivations. And if you'd like to join the conversation this morning, we're at 515-605-9325. Before we take our next caller, Lionel, did you want to make a comment on what Mama AZ had to say about her comment when she called in this morning?
Oh, I think that her comments were very good. The idea of sharing and being mindful of the need to share and give what you have is a blessing, and anyone who really appreciates that idea is a brother and sister of mine.
Amen. And speaking of brothers, we do have Brother Minister Plump on 2773. Good morning, Minister Plump. Thank you for joining us on Higher Learning with ZeldaSpeaks on the Female Solution. How are you this new year, this new day, this new morning?
I think his call dropped, but he'll be back. I'll put you in that.
In the meantime, in between time, we'll take Brother Kofi. I think his call dropped. So, Brother Kofi on 8317, good morning.
Good morning. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. Thank you.
218 is the 11. That's a rotation. We came out of a 10. Now we're into 11. Well, I just got blessed. I've got the house. I used to live in the house in the woods, and I just got it back. So I'm going to be moving it again. What we've been coming out of has been a psychological battle of our minds and control of our children. This is why I come on the radio and I try to put out narratives to let people know to stop the war that they're trying to cause. With the Black Lives Matter organization, to go out and get our children to march in the streets. The next thing you know, they're going to jail and getting killed. You see, that's a part of programming and controlling you. And I've been watching it go down. I'm watching our youth right now trying to get some of this, learn this information and knowledge, and I've been trying to give it. I see the battle going on. They're not coming at me. They're coming at the youth. Okay? They've done it through all the music, through the control of the psychotic music that we're listening to. And this music, I mean, it goes back to Tupac and Russell Simmons. All these people are characters who have been controlling us through the elite, controlling our music. We don't have control of our music. So thereby, they place the music in us, and they rotate it over and over and over in our minds. And you look at guys in the street, people in the street, you know, with their cars or just going on their daily mission, they're listening to what? Music, program. They're programming themselves. And this is a natural thing. This is a natural thing that everybody does. So I tend to listen to music, instrumental music, jazz music, not music with words that tell me what to do. But yeah, we're in that psychological all control. It's all about control. But we're at the greatest point in history now because we've always dealt with the elite, and we're dealing with the elite now. And I see more of our people not conscious. Conscious is a word that I think we stopped using. But I think we're becoming more aware of knowledge, and we're being able to share that knowledge again. So it's not all negative. We're sharing knowledge because you can go on YouTube now. I just got taught by a young brother how to dehydrate food and make my own powdered food. Okay, that was from a black man. You understand? We're you know what I'm saying? We're teaching each other. There is a greater awareness that it's here. We just have to get people to connect to it. You know, it's just like, I'll give you a perfect example. In Chicago, we're fighting for these Chicago streets, but we don't know that there's a big south suburb area out there with land that's not even being used. But I don't want to leave Chicago. What is the difference between Chicago and Harvey? What's the difference between Chicago and Markham? A name. It's the same land mass. You see how they got us trapped in a small bubble, fighting for a small turf, when Cook County is a big county of all this land? I lived in a suburb. And when I lived in a suburb, grew up, you know what I used to say about Chicago? Man, look at Chicago, man. They're going through all this mess. And I'm only 10 blocks away. You understand what I'm saying? But I looked at it and I grew up. I said, that's crazy the way I was thinking.
Yeah.
How can I separate a land base and I'm 10 blocks away? But that's what they've done, programmed us into thinking. North side, west side. I'm from the south side.
Yes.
You from the north side. You see that mentality. And the next thing you know, you got a west side. Man, don't mess with people on the west side. They real. South side people phony. Now we got this characterization going on.
You are so right. I go to both sides of town, and I hear the same thing from both sides. West siders don't go to the south side. South siders don't go to the west side. And so I asked the question, why? Well, we don't have a car. Okay, there's public transportation, so there's an event that's going on that could possibly help you and your family. And you can't go because you don't have a car. That's an excuse, and that is definitely a sign of programming because those people on that side of town we don't want to be bothered with him for whatever reason. And that is not the way to be. What are your comments on that, Lionel?
Well, it's divide. The principle of divide and conquer, divide and rule, is universally applied. And when you talk about the process of exploiting people, male versus female, young versus old, rich versus poor, it's all part of the same process, programming. And I agree with the brother. It's just another example of the same diabolical, satanic plan to destroy humanity, by getting us to fight each other over or to be separated from each other based upon some shallow, superficial, insignificant material distinction.
And I agree with that 100%. It's all part of programming. It's it's what they do and have done and will continue to do until we're no longer here anymore to be programmed. So thank you very much for that, Brother Kufi. As we continue, we'll go to the line. If you've got questions, 515-605-9325. I believe Minister Plump on 2773. Did we ever get him back on the line? If not, let us continue with information.
We're on Yashalom. Good morning.
Good morning to you, my brother.
All right. Okay, we win. All right, Zelda speaks into your guest. How you feel today there, brother, sir?
Peace be with you, sir.
Yes, sir. We're on Yashalom, Assalamu alaikum, in the hotel, and we are the greatest. And as they say, hurrah, we don't die, we multiply. I love it. Happy Kwanzaa, especially, keeping the faith for our money today. We going all the way. Kwanzaa is a 23, like Sister Zelda. You different, and we all are different. You like a baby Oprah Winfrey, and the brother is like a Michael Jordan, in the real, but yet different. Both of them is connected like Yahshua, the Lord of the world, who most know as Jesus Christ, as the Black Mahdi, So I'm glad that we are having an intergenerational conversation, because the old people need the young people, and the young people need the old people, and the sisters need the brothers, and the brothers need the sisters. So that's in peace, love, and unity, and most of all in harmony. I'm in the position of promoting the world's greatest good movie by the Honorable Mayor Hale Washington, or featuring Mayor Hale Washington in Chicago, and also it's produced by Brother Joseph Chapin. Brother Joseph Chapin, he's 27 years old, just made it too. So, it's good that we open up, like the reflections of what Brother Kufi said, and I love him as my brother too. So I'm just thankful to share with you all. For more information, you can go to the HaleWashingtonFoundation.org or go to the HaleWashingtonFoundation.com for more information, and go to the greatestgoodmovie.com. And we are promoting on WVON the brother Mark Wallace 10x10towin.com. So we going all the way. And welcome to the first day of the best and the rest of your whole life in 2018. That's 11. We winners. See, Yahshua would say, my Father and I, we are one. So I'm just saying the same for you, Sister Zelda, Robinson, and also for you, brother. What's your name again, sir?
Lionel Abdul Haqq. Lionel Abdul Haqq.
Abdul Haqq. What does that mean? What's your name, sir?
The servant of truth and reality.
Hallelujah. That's fantastic. And you are fantastic. So I'm looking forward to meeting you. Yes, who is the greatest? Allah is the greatest. Sent Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, and Jacob. Jesus Christ, the Lord of Lords and King of Kings, and Moses too. You know, for us to be able to see farther than our nose, you know, and go all the way. So you all have a pleasantly plump day. Les Brown say that. And also Mayor Washington said we must plump the whole community. So we got the Peace Parade coming on. And I hope you'll join us. That's going to come on Sunday, April 15th, 2018. And that's what we do to help stop the violence, robbing, stealing, and killing, and help save our children that look just like you and me and Sister Zelda. We love you. Yeah.
We receive it. Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
God bless you.
God
Keep
bless
up
you.
the good work. You all
Thank
got
you,
it. You know, Mayor Washington used to say, if you got it, you got it. So this is our time. Our people, is to me, is just like a 24-karat gold tree. And y'all are probably the whole 23 and the 24. You know, the 24 is like the 24 elders. So I'm an elder. You know, I'm like 72 years old. So I want to see y'all. Come on and join us out to the Swift Mansion on Sundays from 2:30 to 4:30, or call me direct for jobs or businesses for the people. I got jobs for everybody in the red, black, and green. They can call me at 312-671-2773. Extra money. Ball up your fist on the right side and spell extra, 5-letter word. Ball up your fist on the left side and spell MONEY. And then in between that, spell that 5-letter word, truth. And I love your name, Brother Abdul. Yes, sir. All right. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Comments, Brother Haqq?
Again, sharing is caring, and the more you give, the more you get. And I appreciate the comments that the brother made.
Yes, he's a brother who always calls in and shares. And I love the fact that this show is about sharing humanity, because it appears to be lost, but according to media and to those who are in control of the media, the mass control of our minds, but there is a certain sector of society that is doing its part to maintain that our sanity and caring about one another. And I was listening to Dr. Naima Latif this morning talking about the humankind stories about the Korean family of restaurant owners who, after every day of serving their paying customers, bless you, they go out into the community and serve what leftover food they have left, and that she's going to continue to do that. And I just thought that was awesome. And it's what's really funny about it is that I was watching that same video about 5 o'clock this morning. I said, now you tell me great minds don't think alike. I'm watching the very same video, and I saw that. And I said I was going to mention it during the show, and then she saw it. But there was another video I saw that people just are not aware of. Puerto Rico, they're still devastated. There's a video, actually a station called Now This, and you have got to see it. And it talks about how 60% of the people in Puerto Rico still don't have help. They don't have the basic necessities, food and shelter. And I volunteer at an organization called European American Association in Humboldt Park. And they did a fundraiser for the people of Puerto Rico, and the proceeds went to Ricky Martin Foundation, and so they're still helping people, but a lot of people don't know. So if you get a chance to go to Now This, and he talked about, I was just disheartened to find out, the young man told me that there were some independent journalists doing some work, and they found out some information about how Puerto Rico makes the medicine pill, the pharmaceutical, Tylenol, how they export it to the Americas, and then it's imported back to Puerto Rico to sell to the people. I said, if that is not insanity at its highest, I have never heard of such a thing. So you've just got to see that video. And if you just tuned in, you're listening to Brother Lionel Abdul Haqq from Community Cultivations on Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks on the Female Solution. And if you'd like to call in, 515-605-9325. And please, if you are online, we'd love to get your comments and suggestions at ZeldaSpeaks on Facebook and at Twitter. Also, if you'd like to get a copy of our daily mindfulness moments, feel free to subscribe. Go to YouTube and type in ZeldaSpeaks Mindfulness. And you can always, if you'd like to contact me, email is fine, zelda@ZeldaSpeaks.com. And for those who love to hear what Brother Lionel Abdul Haqq has to say, Lionel, they can contact you through the Higher Learning Network. Is that correct? info@higherlearningnetwork.org. And do you have a contact number, or should they just call us here?
Well, those who do email and that kind of thing, I'd rather them contact me through you.
Okay.
But if you want to contact me direct on phone, my number is 773-642-1453. And I like talking to people personally. It's just,
I know that's right. Give that number again, Lionel.
773-642-1453.
Because mass communication is I don't know what the word, we don't care about each other anymore. Everybody's walking down the street on their cell phones. People are getting run over by buses and taxis, getting their phones snatched out of their hands because we're all into the cell phone. And, we go out to dinner, we're sitting at a restaurant, and everybody's on their cell phone. Nobody's sitting and have a conversation. I saw that a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, wow, what is happening to us as a people?
I'd like to share something else that occurred to me. The whole concept of artificial intelligence, AI, as it's called, referred. There was a person who they called him a Unabomber, and I'm not saying this for the sake of glorifying what he did, but Theodore Kaczynski was his name. He was the Unabomber, and his objective in sending these bombs through the mail was to bring attention to something that he said that if the newspaper would publish his manifesto, he would stop sending the bombs, and they did. And what he proclaimed was that artificial intelligence was the last nail in the coffin of humanity. And when you look at the biggest name in AI is Apple. And when you look at the symbol of Apple Corporation, it's an apple that has been bitten out of, has one bite taken out of the apple.
Wow.
Now, when you ask most people about the story of Adam and Eve, they will tell you that they bit an apple. It wasn't an apple. The symbol that is in most people's mind when they talk about it.
Right.
And the connection between that apple, that is the symbol for the corporation, the AI corporation, and the effect that it is having on society as a whole, it becomes an interesting collection of ideas and concepts that are manifesting a very, very inhumane kind of effect in the society.
Talk about
I'd like to share one more thing. One more thing that'll give you one of those moments. The word hello. When we say hello,
teach.
What we're actually doing is invoking hell on each other. And that's not an accident. The word Hellenistic refers to the Greek civilization, of ancient civilization, of Greece. And there's definitely a connection between the use of the word hell and the social philosophy of materialism and vainglorious carnal indulgence.
Well, I have heard that before, and I heard a rapper say, I cannot remember her name, but she said she would no longer say the word hell low. She would say heaven high, and I just thought that was so unique. And she got a little flack for it, but she said she didn't care, because now when people greet her, she says heaven high, and I just thought that was so astonishing. I'd never heard anyone say anything like that.
I had suggested on my radio show when I was on WHBK that we stop saying hello and start saying halo.
Halo, yes.
That would help to generate a more heavenly, peaceful spirit, and it would also kind of reverse the effect of hello by saying halo. And never got too much response to that, but
no, because we've been conditioned so deeply. You know, it was here before we got here. It'll be here when we're gone. We'll have a few select of the society who will use that. But I like that halo. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for tuning in this morning. If you just tuned in to the Female Solution, How You're Learning with ZeldaSpeaks, our special guest today is the one and only Brother Lionel Abdul Haqq of Community Cultivations, in which he will be our guest every first Monday of the month. But right now we are going to take a station break. If you would like to comment, leave your suggestions or thoughts or comments online at facebook.com ZeldaSpeaks, and also on Twitter. You can do so, but we'd love to have you call in too. We like the human connection. Give us a call at 515-605-9325. As our executive producer, Dr. Naima Latif, takes us to break, we will be right back. And thank you for joining us again in our last few minutes here, last 20 minutes or so at Higher Learning with ZeldaSpeaks on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution. If you just tuned in, our very special guest today, Brother Lionel Abdul Haqq from Community Cultivations, who will be with us every first Monday of the month. And then now that you've had a chance to get pen and paper, you need to contact him. Feel free to do so at 773-642-1453. That's 773-642-1453. If he says something that piques your interest, or you need information about what he has to offer the community, you'll come to speak at your event, please give him a call. And if you prefer social media, you can do that too by simply sending us information via Facebook, ZeldaSpeaks, or on Twitter. And you can also email us info@higherlearningnetwork.org. That's info@higherlearningnetwork.org. And if you'd like to contact Zelda, that's me, Zelda at ZeldaSpeaks.com. And by the way, the show will be the TV show, the Higher Learning Network TV show, in which I am executive producer of the show. That airs Tuesdays at 6 and Wednesdays at 1 p.m. on Channel 19, but you can always see it 24/7 on the World Wide Web at higherlearningnetwork.org. We invite you to subscribe to our newsletter of information and inspiration, and you can do that by emailing us info@higherlearningnetwork.org. And last but never least, for daily mindfulness moments updates, you can always see the mindfulness moments on YouTube. Simply type in ZeldaSpeaks Mindfulness, and there's two of them there. One is for radio, and the other one is for the mindfulness moment. So feel free to subscribe to both of them if you like. And coming up in the future, very soon, we'll have a very special guest who is helping not only people every day, but nonprofits. And you don't have to be a nonprofit. You can be a for-profit organization that wants to earn money selling on Amazon. Now, when I was first told by one of our previous guests, Kit Kat Great from I Rock the Rap. I think she was on about a month ago. And I met her at the skating rink. I no longer skate, but I go there to play cards. And she was telling me about a sister that she met. Yeah, I can't skate, but I can play cards. Thank God they play cards and chess and bid-whist and all that good stuff. And she was telling me about a sister that she met in Atlanta who was helping nonprofits and for-profit businesses to earn money selling on Amazon. When she told me $5,000 a month, I was like, yeah, right. Okay, I'm from Missouri. You got to show me. Lionel, I know you're from Missouri. You just came back from Missouri. So you got to show us, right?
Yeah.
So she did better than that. Higher Learning Network had a website, not a website, a store, I should say, on Amazon since I think it was May of last year. But it wasn't until they joined her organization. Her name is Yassin Hall, Yassin Hall, Hall. And it wasn't until they joined her organization and they began making money. And I was like, wow, the recruiters come out we were at a trade show, and of course the recruiters come out because they want people of diversity to have stores there as well, but they don't show you the tricks of the trade. And this sister is a sister from the British Virgin Islands who came to Chicago to share this information. And I was like, nobody has ever done this. So I'm most grateful. She is extremely busy. And things have slowed down just a little bit because the very first of the year, very first week or so, things slow down, give you a chance to get your paperwork together, taxes for income tax purposes and things of that nature. So she's going to be on the show. And I'm living proof that you can make $5,000 doing this in a month if you do exactly what she tells you to do. Because we did not do exactly what she told us to do. Because I was half parlaying, sending the information to the executive director, Deborah Peterson, and she got bits and pieces, and I got bits and pieces. So once we had her do a review of the account, things began to boom. So we thank Yassin Hall, Amazon Boss Class, it's BossAmazonClass.com. So if you're interested in becoming a part of that to raise funds for yourself or for your organization, just want to earn a lot of money, you spent a lot of money over the holiday, email me, Zelda@ZeldaSpeaks.com, and I will send you the link, or you can email me, info@higherlearningnetwork.org, and just mention my name, and someone will send you the link there as well. Brother Haqq, I want to thank you for your continued contribution to the community and cultivating the community. What are some of the things that we can do this year to show and study ourselves approved to continue the process of caring for one another and showing that we care?
Well, I appreciate the opportunity. As I said before, I think it's very significant that you and I, again, exactly 21 years in a cycle. And, I think, everything happens in divine order. And so I'm looking forward to continuing to work with you, to share any opportunity that I can. The blessing that I believe Allah has cultivated me with. I just want to continue to expand on these ideas, get people to recognize that we've been misled, bamboozled, run amok, and led astray, and that we have to begin to recognize our thinking, our way of thinking about everything. Everything has to be reexamined in the light of what is true and what is right.
And I am most grateful to have you as a guest. We are all grateful.
All praise to the Most High. We all, we all coming together. I think that those who thought that they had killed humanity, the resurrection is taking place.
Okay. Praise God.
Mm-hmm.
Because you cannot live without him. Did I hear someone's voice?
Yes. This is Naima Latif.
Yes,
I have
Latif.
Assalamu alaikum, sister.
Wa alaikum salam, brother. Definitely enjoying your comments. And I'll make it quick because you've got another comment. I believe Pianki from St. Louis wants to make a comment before we go. But I just wanted to address the issue of the way we have been conditioned to criminalize poverty and look at people who don't have as somehow lesser than or to be despised. And how would you suggest we go about changing that thinking? Because the reason why people don't have is because others who have more than their share are not sharing. And so we create poverty by not giving out of our abundance to those who are lacking. And yet we've been taught to blame and despise them for our selfishness. How do we turn around our thinking so that we can realize when we see somebody who doesn't have, then that means there's a portion that we should be sharing with them so that they would not be doing without? How do we change our thought process with that?
Well, so I can only suggest that for people who don't have, that they recognize that part of the programming of materialism is to make people believe that having wealth or having money is somehow a sin or some kind of wrong. There's an old saying that the love of money is the root of all evil, and some people are afraid to acquire wealth or to acquire anything. And I think one of the biggest obstacles to progress, human progress on all levels, is our connection, our understanding of the Creator. So I think first and foremost, we need to try to share the idea that our Creator has an abundance, that there's no limit to the amount of material good that we can acquire, and that striving to be as strong is part of what life is about. So I think people have been beaten down a lot and made to feel afraid of success, of accomplishment, of achievement, and that the best thing we can do for people who are less fortunate is to inspire them to strive to achieve as much as they can and to do as much good as they can with it.
And we can all begin with ourselves and within our own family. Excellent question, Dr. Latif. Thank you so much for calling and asking that question. We have, what do they say, each one teach one. We have one more call on the line. Brother or sister, I'm not sure, Pianki on 4644. Great grand morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
Well, that was a good explanation on poverty.
Well, thank you, bro.
You're not gonna have the situation here is that you're always gonna have someone who has and someone who doesn't. Where it gets critical at is when there is no opportunities for those who don't have to achieve, or should I say, use the old proverbial saying, lift yourself up by your sandals or bootstraps. And those opportunities exist. I hear a lot of people criticizing those who do have. I think that's wrong, even from your president on down. Those that, especially when blacks go out and get it, then they're labeled and called all sort of names. But if that's the case, why did you put so much effort into them learning and so on and so on? Why do we always quote Mansa Musa and Solomon and so on and so on and so on? So you have to provide the opportunity and the courage in order to get your children to the point where they can use those opportunities in order to better themselves. I called in a little late. I was going to talk to Naima about something else, but I have to catch up with her later. So give me a comment on that.
A comment on
Lionel?
what? A comment on what? What did you ask?
On that, we need to provide your young that's coming out of these economic situations that's called poor and poverty. You know, majority of black people are not poverty, and I'm talking about blacks. I'm not talking about everybody. I want to try to solve the problem at hand rather than the problem in my arms. But providing them and steering them into the areas where they can achieve no longer being in poverty themselves, rather than depending on people to pull them out all the time.
Well, that's what I was seeking to establish that, people have been misled into thinking that there's something wrong with achievement. That's not true. It's important to know that growth to achieve what it is that God has blessed you with, or what your purpose in life. I think it's very important for people to recognize that they have a purpose, that life is not an accident, and that if you there's an old saying that if you do what you love for a living, you'll never have to work a day in your life. And that's to say that we're not, though too many people are pursuing wealth for wealth's sake, as opposed to seeking to do what it is that they love and become wealthy as a consequence because they do it well. And they're doing what they enjoy doing. They're doing what they would do for free if they had to. But they do it well enough to where they can get paid for it. And there are a lot of people who would like to have them do what they do. So then the problem becomes just accumulating wealth for the sake of accumulating it becomes a problem. So we have to also continue to grow in terms of being charitable, finding something to do with the wealth that will help to raise other people up. That's what I would recommend. Do what you love. Find what it is that you were created to do and do it. Don't just pursue money for money's sake, but seek to grow on all levels and to continue to share and to create opportunities for others.
I appreciate that, and so thank you for that.
And, before you leave real quick, this is a real short one. For those who do have, they should follow the philosophy that you cannot sell to people who have empty pockets. So it requires a due diligence to make sure that their pockets have something. Thank you very much.
Peace be with you.
And thank you for calling in. And thank you for listening, our listening audience. You've been listening with Brother Lionel Abdul Haqq, our special guest of Community Cultivations. If you'd like to contact him during the week, 773-642-1453. And if you'd like to contact me during the week, you can do so via higherlearningnetwork.org, 312-409-6619. And just a quick comment about doing what you love so you'll never have to work a job in your life. I worked in secular radio. The first year I worked for free, 12 hours a day for 1 year for no money. People thought I was crazy. But 20 years later, I retired from radio making money, so I am living proof that one can do what one loves to do and not do it for money. Because I just, I'm a country girl. I just love to talk, and I'll talk to anybody about anything. Well,
I know that's right.
Almost anything. When you get crazy, I got to cut the conversation short, and I got to move on and say hello, not halo, not hello, but halo. So if you'd like to contact me during the week, please do so. info@higherlearningnetwork.org. If you'd like the information to get that link for Amazon to learn how to make money on Amazon with Yasin Hall. Or you can be sure and subscribe to me on YouTube, ZeldaSpeaks Mindfulness. Stay on purpose, stay empowered. We'll see you next Monday morning for your Monday morning mindfulness moment right here on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution. Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks. Make it a great day. Thank you, Lionel. Appreciate you. Peace and blessings.
Thank you. Peace and truth.
See you next month.
Okay.
The Female Solution.